We're going to look at changing the tempo within a repeat. First, we'll start off by looking at it without the repeat. Here I have a set tempo to 60 beats per minute and change tempo by 10. By now you probably know if I double click on this, tempo is going to be 70. Let's double check. Okay, that worked. And what if I had two of these blocks? Now set tempo to 60 plus 10 is going to be 80. Looks good. What if I had four of these blocks? So now I set the tempo to 60, and then 4 times I change the tempo by 10. So that'll add 10 4 times. So we'll get 100. What if I had 8 times? 4 gets me to 100. If I change the tempo by 10 4 more times, that gives me to 140. Let's double check. Yep, that gives me 140. So instead of having multiple copies like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this inside of a repeat. So we can go to the Control tab, and I'll put this change inside of the repeat. Say I repeat 4 times. We looked at that before. That's like this. If I double click on it, it sets the tempo to 100. Now I set the tempo to 60, that's exactly the same, and instead of having 4 copies of the change tempo by 10 block, I just put it inside of a repeat. Let's double click on it to make sure we get 100 as well. Looks good. And if I change this to 8, we should get 140, just like we did before. Now let's listen to what that can sound like. So if I add a drum in here, let's listen to see how the tempo changes what we hear with the drum. And I'm going to change the drum to go for 1 beat. Let's listen. Could you hear the drum going faster? Let's try repeating more times. Now I'm going to repeat 20 times. Could you hear it get faster and faster? And look what number we ended up with at the end, 260. We started with the tempo of 60, and then we added 10 20 times. So 20 times 10 was 200, so we added 200 to 60 and got 260. That one started off slow at just 60 beats per minute and started going faster. What if instead I started at 260 beats per minute, and instead of changing the tempo by positive 10, I changed it by negative 10. So that'll subtract 10 from the tempo each time. Let's listen. And while you're listening, watch how tempo changes. Could you hear that going slower? This is a really common pattern that we're going to use a lot, where we set a variable, and then inside of a repeat, we keep changing that variable, and then we use that variable to say how long this drum will play for.